Guys, this is going to be a quick review for the Husqvarna triple bag bagger. I got mine at Lowe's. I'm sure you can get it plenty of places, but I've had it for about 2 years so far, with a lot of mowing. I think like 150 or 200 hours of mowing, and so far it works pretty well. There are a couple caveats to it. I'll point those out real quick. When I got it, one of the first ones, as you can see, is I had to add this extra flap on there. The one that's in there, I'll show you from the inside, but the one that's on there, when you've got the tube in, it kind of weighs down and then you end up with a gap. Like you see how when I push down on the tube, I would get like a gap right here and I would just get tons of grass. It would just spit out and spit out when I was running the bagger. And so I had this extra, it's like roofing kind of rubber stuff that I riveted on there to create a better seal. You can see how it's nice on there, but the one that it comes with is kind of cheap, and it just leaves gaps, and you get grass all over you just constantly. And so that's one of the big ones. The second biggest issue that I have with this is the design. I'll back up in just a sec. I just got to get it open. Okay, so first I guess you can see this is the material for the original one, and then this is part of the rubber that I put on there. But it's just hard plastic, and so it doesn't give a lot, and so when it sags, it doesn't flex to match the tube, and so that's why you get the gaps. But the second biggest issue I had is with the design of the end of the tube. So this isn't what it looked like. So you can see the way it works. It spits the grass and it fills up the left one first, and then it slowly fills them as it overflows here. Now this thing, when I got it, I cut out a ton of it. It was like all the way out here, and it would come all the way down, like just this front face, it would come all the way down, and it came like all the way, I don't know, maybe all the way over here. So there was only a teeny little bit there. I don't know if that captured, but it came all the way down like here and covered this whole section right here. And it only had like a teeny bit that would actually spit into this farthest bag. And so what it would do is it would fill the left bag, fill the middle bag, and then hardly get anything in this. And then it would build up and clog from the middle bag. And so the last bag hardly got used at all. And that's just design oversight, in my opinion. So when I got it, I actually cut out a whole ton of this tube, and probably at least that much, I'm guessing, off of that section right there. And now it works great. And so if you're willing to do that, it's worth it. But that's just, I mean, if you didn't do that, basically this third bag would have been a waste, because it would hardly fill it all, and then they would get clogged. Like this would come up and just clog up against the tube right there. Let's see, one more small issue. It's not a huge thing. When you have it closed, there isn't a super great seal. Like there's no foam or anything between the lid and the frame of it. Let me open that again. So where the frame comes down and sits on top of these, it's not like a perfect seal. Like you can see there would be little gaps and such, little places, and it just doesn't sit perfectly flat. And I don't think there's supposed to be any kind of gasket or foam along the rim to give it a better flush seat, but you get a little bit of grass spraying out randomly in some areas, and that's not a huge deal, but you know, it just makes you a little messier. And if it's dead grass, you get a lot more dust in your face and everything. But other than that, I actually really like the bagger after I made those adjustments. Now it's pretty expensive. I think last I looked, it's like $4.99 or at least $3.99 at Lowe's. I know that changes, so don't quote me, but what I did was I had it in a cart on Lowe's, and it just randomly came on sale for like $100 off. So I actually think I got mine 2 years ago for like $1.99. Seems kind of pricey for a bunch of plastic, but definitely worth it if you're gonna bag stuff. Now I'll go ahead and mow a little bit and show you how much it bags. So you'd see that's about 3/4 full, and we'll show you how much it'll fill up. So you can see I mowed probably 30 feet by 30 feet or so up there, and it was pretty tall. Some spots were like 10 inches tall, because I haven't mowed it in a little bit, so I had to go a little slower. And remember, that one was about 3/4 full when I started, so you got almost 2 full bags, and a third filled up from just that space. So if you've got pretty thick grass, this is fairly thick grass, and a lot of it is 6 to 10 inches tall. So it's a lot thicker than if you were doing your grass regularly. But with that said, I like the bagger. I would give it probably 6 out of 10, because without the adjustments I said I had made, it would have been a pretty poor product. It just would have, the third bag would have been almost useless. And just the dry grass shooting out around the seam all the time before I added that, it is a real bother. So with that said, the bagger comes with the bags and the tube hooks on underneath with a stretchy hook and another stretchy hook, and then it rests right there on a little flap on the thing. So that's about it. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.